Okay, I am Amir bin Muhammad Alias from Group 8-1 SC1. I'm grouped with Ahmad Taufik Iqbal, Nur Safia, and Nur Anis Farhan. Now I want to talk about the introduction. Lieutenant Adnan is a film with a time background of Malay Land War against Japan in 1942. The film narrates the courage of a young Malay man who led a battalion of the army of being attacked by the army of Japan until getting himself killed. Lieutenant Adnan and his battalion, down his leadership, became the last defense of the Malay land before Japan conquered all over Malay's land after they beat this team. This film was written based on a true story against a young Malay man named Adnan bin Saidi from Sungai Ramal village, Kajang, who is determined to enter the army despite strong opposition from his mother. Lieutenant Adnan acted to escape with his friend at the night to enroll in a military camp in Port Isen. After being selected, he undergo exercise physically and mentally in a camp to be the army below regiment soldiers Malay opposed the Japanese entry. Thanks to his leadership, he is promoted to Color Sergeant, which is junior lieutenant, in 1937. With this, he led the Malay forces fortified at Bukit Chandu, Singapore in 1948 with full gallant and spirit until his troops were captured at last.
Lieutenant Adnan's strengths. In the film, Adnan was entrusted to defend the Pasir Panjang Ridge, the last British bastion before Alexandria, where their bullets and supplies military were located. In the Battle of Pasir Panjang, the Battle of Opium Hill, as it is better known, Adnan's leadership qualities, such as patriotism, bravery, and courage, motivated his troops to try and fend off Japanese, even though they were grossly outnumbered and undersupplied. Weakness. As in the film, Lieutenant Adnan and his troops held off the Japanese for 2 days amid heavy enemy shelling from the artillery and tanks, as well as chronic shortage of food, medical supplies, and ammunition. His courageousness cost him his life as the Japanese army tied him on a tree and stabbed him several times with bayonet. He died on the hands of the Japanese.
Next, I will tell about the treats for this movie, Battle of Pasir Panjang. When he was 23 years old, Adnan married Sofia, which is a school teacher from his village. This couple had 3 children, which is 2 sons and 1 daughter. Adnan did not live to see his daughter being born, and she too died at infancy shortly after the fall of Singapore in 1942. Combining the hectic life of a career soldier and that of a father, Adnan was remembered by one of his sons, Mokhtar, as serious and fierce, yet had a good heart. In late 1941, Adnan was posted to Singapore. He brought his family with him and they lived in a big house of Pasir Panjang, an area reserved for officers in the Malay regiment. When war became imminent, Adnan sent his family back to their hometown in Kajang, Selang. It was trying time for him as his wife was pregnant with their 3rd children. When they bade him goodbye, it was the last time that his family set eyes on him. Adnan was entrusted with the defense of Pasir Panjang Ridge, the last British bastion before Alexandria, where their bullets and supplies military hospital were located. The Battle of Pasir Panjang, or the Battle of Opium Hill, as is better known, Adnan's leadership qualities, which is patriotism, bravery, and courage, motivate his troops to try and fend off the Japanese, even though they were grossly outnumbered and undersupplied. They frustrated that the Japanese effort to take over the ridge, and the fighting strained Adnan's troops, As Adnan and his troops retreated to Opium Hill, they rose to the occasion again against the persistent and heightened assault of the Japanese, even taking up hand-to-hand combat with the enemy when they ran out the bullets. The sheer force of Japanese attack on the second and final afternoon of fighting overpowered Adnan and his men, leading them to their grisly death. They tied Lieutenant Adnan on a tree and stabbed him many times. So for the conclusion, Lieutenant Adnan Saidi has shown his leadership to his teammates while in Battle of War long time ago. In fact, he also showed leadership qualities as a leader of family and become a proud child to both his mother and father. He can also serve as an example of leadership to all walks of life.